made it to chirohustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channel and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Prime Spine Consulting. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 329 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I'm your co-host, Luke Millette, and here's your host, Jim Chester.
So today we have the opportunity of interviewing Dr. Bryan Asby, and if you want to hear the story of how the power that made the body heals the body, stay tuned. Welcome back. It's another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast, episode 329. I know that because I wrote it right here on my little scratch pad. And today I got Dr. Bryan Asby coming in with me. I'm really excited to have this guy on. We've been in the same circles for quite some time, and I've seen some of the people he's worked with over the past couple of years, which really inspires the heck out of me. And I know you like taking care of people, and you're a chiropractor. So those things line up right with what we do. We do protect the sacred trust in chiropractic. If you don't know what that is, go do a DuckDuckGo search or use your Google fingers and find out what sacred trust is for chiropractic. We do support subluxation-based chiropractic, and we do protect free speech in this profession. And the words universal intelligence and innate intelligence really matter to us because vitalism is something so important, and we just need to keep on banging that drum for the future of chiropractic, because if we don't, then they'll change it all at the school level and the college level. So with that being said, Dr. Bryan, welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Well, this is the platform for you to share your story with people that might have lost touch with you for a while. Could be guys and gals you went to college with, friends, family, colleagues, people like that, or the people that you take care of every day. They're going to hear this too. So let's share a big message with people and let people know more about you as the practitioner and how you got into the beautiful profession of chiropractic.
Yeah. So, there's kind of a convoluted story there. To be honest with you, some of my earlier memories are my mom actually going to a chiropractor, and I'll kind of walk back to that one. But, throughout high school, and even into college, I love sports, basketball, football, all that stuff. And so, chiropractic care, in my opinion, if you're playing any sports that involves contact, is a necessity, right? I mean, I'm short here, but in person, I'm 6'3", 250 pounds, big guy. So I'm running into other big guys, right? And so that was just kind of a natural progression, getting banged up and just wanting to feel my best, be my best, and just continue to play. And so, in college, as I was looking at what I want to do, I thought, do I want to go into the medical field or do I want to be a chiropractor? And in the end, I decided chiropractic. And I'll give you two reasons why. One was my mom, she's had this diagnosis forever, but fibromyalgia. And so, not wanting to be dependent upon, pharmaceuticals and just she knew how it impacted her, and she had a history of migraines. You could see just as a child, you see your mom go in and then come out feeling better, being better, doing better. I mean, how do you not want that, right? Like, that's your mom. And so I got to witness that, and that was really cool. And so my mom was a nurse, but, always had a propensity towards more natural things, right? Like, I can maybe remember a handful of times where she put me on some form of medication for something, right? But, she didn't want us on antibiotics. She didn't want to give it. She's like, if you have a fever, just let it, run its course. God gave you this sort of thing. He designed your body to function this way. So let's just let it run its course. If it gets out of hand, we can, do something else. But so I have this, just kind of this memory of this. And I don't know that I ever went to a doctor after the age of 5, and I'll get back into that in just a minute. But that was it. But, when I got into school, I thought that chiropractic was what? Back pain, neck pain, sports injuries, which I all love. And everybody should see a chiropractor for that. So not putting that down at all. 100% love it. I see people in pain all the time, right? But, I was thinking back and learning more, innate intelligence, universal intelligence, the body, just how it heals and how it's designed to heal. I remember very vividly, but I did not make the connection at that point in time. I was 5, and you see your mom get adjusted. What do you want to do? You want to get adjusted, right? You're like, oh, mom feels better. What do I want to do? I want to feel better. And so the first 5 years of my life were pretty miserable in the sense that I had really severe asthma. I mean, I still have this very vivid memory of I describe it like a vice on your chest, right? Like where the next breath is just difficult. Okay. You don't want to, it's just, you're like, am I going to get it? And I remember going, we would circle the hospital sometimes with the window open, trying to get fresh air. Fairly miserable that experience, right? Like I don't want anybody to ever have to go through that, but I got to experience it. I remember going to the hospital, spending several nights in the hospital, sleeping in an oxygen tent. But at the age of 5, I got an adjustment, and I remember this kind of. You ever had that sensation where just kind of relief washes over you, sort of thing? Like you don't know what it was, but it just. And I got adjusted, and never had another asthma attack again. Matter of fact, after that, I did not need an inhaler. So, I love my mom, but what the doctors told her is I grew out of it. So I kind of had that concept that I grew out of it. But I know that when I got adjusted, something changed. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how to, express it. But after that, I had 0 asthma attacks. Matter of fact, I think I only used an inhaler one other time after that. Played sports in high school. Fantastic. I loved it. It was amazing. But I didn't realize at the time what had happened, right? And so, when I got into school and started learning more, I was like, oh, that's actually my chiropractic story, right? Like one adjustment, and I'm not saying that happens for everybody, but I have lots of kids that come in with asthma too, and you get that adjustment and you feel better, you function better. And, for me, we had to live within 5 miles of a hospital. That's what my dad required, right? Because of the severity of the attacks, and he was terrified, right? And didn't have one. We were able to move away, move out a little bit outside the city, into the country. And so, I mean, literally the adjustment changed my life, right? I got to be able to move and move out of where I was, not attached to a hospital, not worried about, do I get my next breath under these attacks? And I mean, that's what I want for everybody, right? I mean, who doesn't want that? So, but that's it. It's a mixture of just amazing event that I didn't realize what happened at the moment, but then this history of just seeing chiropractic help myself in sports and athletics, and then also just the chronic pain that my mom had to endure, the migraines, the fibromyalgia. And if you talk to my mom today, like she's like, I love my chiropractor. He's my only doctor. If I have anything going on, I'm going to my chiropractor. She lives up in Milwaukee. I'm in Dallas. So, she's like, that's my jam. If I need to ask you, Brian, I'll ask you a few questions, but she goes and sees him on the regular and is doing great.
Well, there's a saying that's a chiropractic phraseology is the power that made the body heals the body.
Yep.
Would you say that the story you just shared with me is that story?
100%, and, when I get to see this on the regular, right? Just like when you remove or change what's impeding what's healing the body will just take over. I mean, if you know anything about anatomy and physiology, the body is just an amazing, incredible thing. And, I believe a higher power designed it, right? I believe in God, that God designed it. And I don't think he left us with a faulty body. I think there can be things that happen to it, and there can be, unfortunate mistakes, or not mistakes, but unfortunate things that can happen to it. But, the body that is in front of you that you see in the mirror every day was designed to heal, to be healthy. And if it's not, then the question is why and what's impeding it. But it was designed to function that way, 100%.
Well, one of the things that always stuck with me is how people want to explain the chiropractic profession to other people. And one of the things that really stood out to me early on was somebody told me that if you cut yourself, you don't have to look at that wound and say heal.
Right.
Your innate intelligence inside your body just magically does that because that's what's supposed to happen.
Right.
And that always stuck with me is if you get like a paper cut and 3 days later, you didn't have to sit there and look at that paper cut and will it to heal.
Yeah.
or you didn't have to put anything on it. You didn't have to, antiseptic. You didn't have to take a pill, a potion, or lotion. The
Yeah.
finger just heals.
It does.
And that's what I read the chiropractic adjuster, D.D. Palmer's book, and he talked about lesions on the spine.
Mm.
And he talked about when the impulse went into the adjustment and it racked the bone into place, that the lesion on the spine were healing.
Mm.
And that's the early idea I had of subluxation.
Right.
So it makes sense that if your lungs aren't working well, there's inflammation and lesion on the spine, and you get that spot adjusted at 5 years old. The body respirates the way it's supposed to because the nervous system is functioning, and you didn't have to look at that subluxation and tell it to heal anymore, where there's inflammation on the spinal cord that was going to the nerve impulses. The body just had the ability to adapt. And now the body does this miraculous thing and represents like it's supposed to.
Yeah. And I talk to patients, I actually don't even use the word miracle, because not that I have a problem with it per se, but I'm like, this is what's supposed to happen, right? Like, Dr. Bryan, I had this fun story. I had this a woman she's probably in her late 40s or the 50s, I think. No, she's gonna be in her early 40s. That's what she is. Sorry. And she's had migraines for 30 years. Okay. So 30 years, seen a ton, whatever, whoever she's seen, neurologist, who everybody else, and no medication has helped. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm like, once we get your body in balance, is it normal or is it miraculous for you not to have migraines? It's normal, right? Yeah, it's normal. So I've seen her maybe a total of 5 times. I think I'll see her 6th time next week. And last time I saw her, which was before Christmas, but no migraine. She's like, this is the first time I've ever gone a weekend in the past 30 years without a migraine. Miracle or how it was designed to happen, right? And so, really neat story, but I don't tell her it's a miracle, because it's not. It's just God designed you not to have headaches or migraines once we get your body balanced. But to her, it's a miracle, and I'm so happy for her. She's got 2 kids and a husband. To be every weekend to have migraines.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Prime Spine Consulting. Let's hustle. Well, it's like the old thing, is if you tie up a rubber band as tight as you can around the tip of your finger,
right?
Eventually the tip of your finger is going to fall off and die, because yes, it will. Because it's lacking blood flow to it. And when you think about that as the cervical canal, and you take that adjustment and you release that off, the body actually does what it's supposed to. And that's a brilliant thing, when you can take the pressure and then you take that relief off of that rubber band off the tip of your finger. You're like, wow, it looks normal again. But that's a part that you can't see. You can't see on the inside, and you can't see that distortion in the nervous system. You have to test for that, and you have to know how to do that as a doctor, but you can't just look at somebody and say, your nervous system's distorted. Like, that's why you have migraines.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I wish we had that, like that horse whisperer or that dog whisperer or whatever, like 6th sense to be like, yeah, your nervous system has a subluxation. Just because I see you across the room, you're subluxated.
You're subluxated.
I wish that we had that type of superhero power, but chiropractors kind of do. Yeah, I mean, you check, you detect, and you correct these. You get to this now, and that's some areas I'm really excited to talk to you about, because I know you've done some work with Amy Spoelstra with Focus, and I know you've been doing some work with Dr. Peter Goldman with Zone. So the focus and the zones come together. It's like an audible at the line of scrimmage, and you're like, how can I help more people? And
Exactly.
you called in the focus, and you called in the zone, and now we have them together with you. And how have both of these groups impacted the way that you take care of people?
Oh man. So in my practice, so I practice with my wife. She sees primarily moms or females, and then infants 0 to approximately 3. And I see kiddos usually 4 and up, and then the dads, right? So we kind of have a split here. And you know, the way that you communicate and understand, there's a lot of, I think sometimes we just get caught up in our own words, and if you can articulate efficiently, correctly, people are just receptive to this. So like, I mean, light bulbs start going off, and I work with a lot of kids with ADHD, autism, OCD, anxiety, all that stuff. And so when a parent comes to you and they're like, chiropractic and ADHD, not seeing it here, it's really easy to blend the two, right? We're balancing the body, but then, with Amy's stuff too, I'm able to communicate from a very scientific standpoint that, that all what they're reading online or what their doctors have told them, I can articulate in a way that they're like, oh, okay, well, why doesn't anybody else tell you this? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm here to help, and I got you. So
that was my next question for you is
Yeah.
how many times do people come in and said, no one's ever told this to me before? Why didn't anybody tell me this? Why didn't anybody tell me that this was a thing?
100%, right? I mean, for the most part, unless they're referred in, right? I do have we get a lot of referrals. Like, my best friend told me that you help with ADHD. So that's kind of their first example. But, they're like, I thought chiropractic was for neck pain and back pain. And, when my husband throws out his back, he goes to the chiropractor down the road. Why is it that you're different? I'm like, I'm not different per se I'm a chiropractor. I still do chiropractic. I know all the science and I know everything about it. I can just explain it in a way. That chiro down the road may just love pain. He may love to see your husband for back pain. That may be his thing. I love seeing kids. I love seeing kids get off of medication, and I love seeing them better digestion, better attention, better focus, better emotional regulation. When a mom comes in and she's like, if I would have known about this 3 years ago, I don't know where I would have been. I would have never put my kid on medication. Like, I had known you existed 3 years ago. And so, that's part of the reason I'm passionate about seeing kids, helping kids, is because, lots of people don't understand it. And when you can communicate it in an efficient, concise manner where the parents just, I get it, or you're saying everything my MD said, but you're adding that little additional and it makes way more sense. And now I'm like, okay, everything you just said to me has happened to me or I've seen or done. Boom. They're like, I love it. This makes the most amount of sense.
Yeah. And zone technique. I know that it's a culmination of adjustment with Thurman Fleet's work, which was concept therapy.
Yep.
How has that made an impact on the way that you deliver the adjustment now?
So, before I do any adjustment, I always check the zones, right? And, when the zone technique is so simple and so complex in the same moment, it's quite incredible.
It's like chiropractic.
Yeah, just like chiropractic. But I remember, when I started palpating and like, okay, this is zone so-and-so, what's going on here? And the accuracy that was coming up, I was just amazed. But I have this little girl that, she initially came in. She's been seeing me for, I think, 2 years now. Couldn't wear long sleeve shirts, very food sensitive, only like particular foods, didn't like her hair washed, had a lot of attention and focus issues, all sorts of stuff, that was going on. And her mom, just brings her in. Just, I don't even have, there's no like, she's like, I'll be here, and here, and here. She just sets it all up. But it was funny. I started doing zones because I wasn't doing zones 2 years ago. And I was palpating and I said, zone 4. So I was like, digestion. And I was like, what's going on, in digestion? And she's like, how'd you know? I was like, well, it came up on the scans. And she's like, and she just got over a stomach bug. She's like, you could tell that from just, feeling her skull and her spine. I was like, yeah, I can do that all the time. And she's like, I don't know what you do, but it works. So I was like, all right. So I love it, but it's amazing because that migraine patient that I was talking about, the one that hadn't had any relief for 30 years, the zone that came up was digestion. And so that's what I've been adjusting on her. And I was like, oh, we're zone 4 again. How's your digestion? Amazingly better. Okay. So digestion's better. Migraines are, going away or disappeared. I'm like, I'm just living the best life right now. You know what I mean? And so, can't beat it. People are getting better. I look like I do, some sort of voodoo magic, I got my own crystal ball, right. And I could just, boom, I need to hit these zones. And, it's been awesome, and just a lot of amazing testimonials over it and experiences. So
I think I've interviewed a lot of practitioners, over 1,000 4 years. We've
awesome.
actually produced 329 shows or 329. And of those interviews, I've actually interviewed Dr. Pete Goldman the most out of anybody else in the chiropractic profession. And the thing that resonates with me the most is it re-inspires chiropractors to love what they do.
100%. Yeah. I mean, not that I didn't love chiropractic before, because I'm all in on chiropractic, but there's just something about the way he communicates it, the confidence that he exudes, and then you absorb and exude it yourself is quite amazing. And his confidence in chiropractic and in the zones is, I think it's probably what most chiropractors are looking for. They don't have somebody to lean on for their confidence all the time, right? They're sometimes get a little lost, and that dude has zero shortage of confidence. I mean, he is always confident. And so, and then you read the testimonials that are in the group, and you're like, I have a gift. Every time I read a testimony, I just put it in there because it's just like, how, what? Amazing. You're just like, they're just telling these incredible stories of just healing and like almost instantaneous healing, right? They're watching skin clear up, within moments of the adjustment. You're like, why is that not being taught in my school? Why are we afraid of that? So, and Dr. Pete and the people in the group are just like, yeah, that's, it's another Tuesday for me. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, you're not afraid of anything anymore. You're just like, I'm just going to do my job and just keep rocking and rolling. And that's where those miracles happen. Right. So,
yeah. One of my favorite memes is there's this kid and he has these glasses on. They're like this thick. And he goes, this is what I look like searching for memes all day with these glasses on. And that's kind of how I feel about the zone testimonials is you could have the poorest vision when it comes to being alive, and the zones work and they clear people out. You don't have to go looking for it. The practitioner is so dialed in, and the practitioner is so confident in delivering the goods, because that's a big chiropractic thing. Who's delivering the goods? No one cares about how many people you're seeing as long as you're delivering the goods type thing. And if you deliver the goods with certainty, you don't have to go looking for practitioners, and the practitioner doesn't have to go looking for people. No. You become the go-to person for people that want to feel better. And that's really what it is.
100%. And something that Dr. Pete says that I love and that I've tried to embody more is I just care about results, right? Like that's what I care about, the person in front of me and the results. And so, when you have that mindset and that, that's your desire, right? It happens, and so I love it.
So let's talk influences. We talked Amy Spoelstra, we talked Peter Goldman. Who are some of the people that have made an impact in your chiropractic life?
Ooh. I mean, there's a lot, right? I mean, I think as a chiropractor, I'm constantly evolving, right? Just trying to always learn. I would say those are probably my two biggest like people alive today. But somebody that I've gotten that I'm starting to appreciate more is Dr. Fleet. And man, I wish that guy was alive. I would ask him a couple questions. And then Dee Palmer. I think BJ kind of shifted some of the light off of Dee, but man, I want to pick Dee's brain. Like, he obviously was seeing incredible things, and so I wish I knew more or understood his thought process. more. That's who I would probably go. Those two are the two guys I go after. But I think what Dr. Fleet was seeing like 300-400 people a day or something like that. And just like mind-boggling. Why doesn't every office see that, right?
I think everybody should go find out more about chiropractor number one. And I think that chiropractor number one is the reason that we have this healing art and we have access to it. And I don't think there's anybody more distinguishable in the history of chiropractic other than chiropractor number one.
Yep.
And I'd recommend everybody go and finding 1910 chiropractor adjuster and going through that over the next however long it takes you to get through it. Give yourself 10 pages a day.
Yep.
But get through it and you'll be a better practitioner for it. You'll understand the profession where we are today a lot better for it. And understand Thurman Fleet. People are always curious why their practice isn't growing, or I'm at 125 a week. How do I get more? And it's the marketing is in the results. And that's the real message that I've picked up from you today is if you get the results, you don't have to market. People will go to the mountaintop and speak for you.
100%. And I want to also just throw two things out. One, both that I've learned from Dr. Josh Wagner, who big proponent of him. I love him. And then Dr. Pete as well is, one of the biggest things that got in my way was just talking too much. I know what's going on. I can help you and just shut up. Right. I think chiropractors sometimes just talk themselves out of a patient, or I shouldn't say out of a patient, but they talk themselves out of it. Like you talk so much. It's like your best friend that's trying to convince you to do something you shouldn't do. And they just keep talking and talking, and they're just going to wear you out, wear you down. Having confidence, exuding confidence, and like what Dr. Wagner talks about is being present with the patient. They sense that. Part of your healing is being present in the moment, right? So it's not just the adjustments, but it's being present and caring, and that is part of healing, right? Is having somebody that actually cares about you there, who can guide you as well. And I think that one of the biggest things that we as a profession make a mistake is we just keep talking. Okay.
Well, here's the thing, Brian. If you go to the other type of doctor, they say 5 things to you, and you get a little prescription, and you leave. And they time themselves. I guarantee you get 2 minutes and 49 seconds with them to come in and talk to you. Yeah. And they talk to you for that 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Right.
And then they're gone. And then the other caregiver comes in and says, hey, doctor recommends these things for you. We're going to see you in, whatever time frame that they give you.
Right.
And you do exactly what you say. You're complicit to what they tell you to do, and you do the damn thing. So chiropractors are like, well, I've noticed that there's this level 5 degeneration over here. If we can even go that far, I don't even know. But we got like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And we got this plan that we're going to see you 3 times a week. And we're going to do these exercises with you and watch these 5 videos. And here's my book. And I think it's an and the type thing where we want to overvalue the delivery when all we want to do is take care of people. My good friend Patrick Smith would say, I don't do any of those therapies. And this isn't a bag on anybody that does therapies.
Right.
What I'm saying is, me and my friends, when we go have lunch, we go lay down face down on the table. We get adjusted. We go eat.
Right.
And that's what I do to my family too. So I want to produce care like that to the people that trust me with their spines. And he's like, ever since then, I've been a membership model practice. People come in and see me. I don't talk money with them. I bill them the first time. I give them a report of findings. I have them bring their family with them. And I tell them why I do what I do and who it's for and how it helps them.
That's all you got to do. You just have to pay attention, listen to that person in front of you. And then, I'll be honest with you, it is almost terrifying what I hear on the regular basis, which was, 100% of the time I hear, I didn't understand chiropractic could help with it. But the other higher portion is no one's ever listened to me. Like I've told my doctor this before and they blow me off. And so, but you can do it in a very loving, concise, and you don't have to do all these ands. It's just, I know what's going on. I'm here to help, and I'll do everything in my power to help you feel your best and be your best. And that's what they care about. They just want to be heard, some of the time, right? Like and that's part of that healing process, right? Is they got all this pent up anxiety over something, and you're like, I got you. And like, cool.
And that's what was delivered to you at 5 years old.
Exactly. I mean, like, it was just, you're going to feel better. Okay. All right. I'm 5 years old. I got no preconception. I don't know anything about chiropractic. I don't know how it works. Right. There's no model. He's not showing me a spine model. He's like, I'm going to make you feel better. You're going to feel better after this adjustment. Racked it back into place, as you would say. And bam, I felt better.
So let me ask you, as you developed into collegiate years and you're a young man and you weren't dependent upon an inhaler and you weren't dependent upon the medical model and you could live out away from 5 miles from a hospital. Did you go on to play athletics? Did you go on to play college ball? Did you play high school ball?
I played high school basketball and soccer. Loved it. Actually, I had in part, I will, credit chiropractor for this, is I had like a 40-inch vertical. So, I was dunking all the time. A real severe injury in my senior year that really prevented me from going on into collegiates. But I think it definitely would have played. Let me say this: I didn't play collegiate ball, but me and my 10 best friends were out on a Sunday, in the middle of fall in Wisconsin. So it's 30 degrees out. We're playing football, and we played tackle football. I mean, like, we didn't hold back, like no pads, no helmet, just old school tackling, lots of fun. I got to play that all the time. And so with asthma, though, it hits 30 degrees, you try to run, that's not happening. So it all started with that adjustment.
Yeah. Well, I the main reason I was going to ask that is because chiropractic had a profound impact on your athletic performance and your vitalism that you carried on. And now what you help people with that come to you with their trust in you and your abilities as a practitioner.
Yeah, I hope I just exude that what it did for me was life-changing, and I know it can be life-changing for you.
I love the conversation today. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you think that we should have talked about today?
No, I think that was a good premise. I like all the points that we hit, and just, if you are a practitioner, just keep learning, they aren't miracles. They're just, the body is designed to heal. Right. And so, just continue on, because, this is what I'll say. This is one thing I wish I would have learned more in school. I went to school with back pain, neck pain, fibro, all great stuff. So I'm not discrediting it. But because I was so limited in what I thought chiropractic would do, I never investigated peds. And it wasn't until I saw this 4-year-old girl come in who saw my wife. And this girl had been kicked out of 3 preschools. Last one for pushing a kid off a jungle gym, breaking his clavicle. And I saw a change. It was within a few weeks. She couldn't wear long sleeves, a lot of emotional dysregulation. And she changed, like, literally in front of my eyes. I credit my wife to that one because she believed it, right? Like, she's the one that got all the extra credit plus all the points in pediatrics. So she was all in on that. But I was like, I don't know about this. But, being open to what, and knowing that the power that made the body heals the body, and that these aren't miracles, and that you can expect them in your practice. I wish I would have known that earlier on. And so especially if you're a student, I mean, don't hold back. Don't hold back.
Amen. Amen. Well, if people want to know more about you or reach out to you or come see you, where can we send them to?
So our office website is Dallas Synergy Chiropractic.com. There's a consult link on there. You can just click on that and you can get a complimentary consult with me, or you can call me at 972-387-4700. I'm in North Dallas, Texas.
Cool. Quite referable. I'm excited that I know that you're down there now, because I know a lot of people always look for chiropractors in Dallas. So yep. Dallas Synergy Chiropractic.com. Dr. Bryan, man, it was a real pleasure having you on today for episode 329.
That was a great conversation. I'm happy I did it. Thank you.
Well, if you know more people that you need to have on to the Chiro Hustle podcast, shoot me over 3 names, including your wife, and
Okay.
we'll get her on for an episode 2. And we'll do our best to keep protecting the sacred trust and support vitalism within the chiropractic profession and support you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. And I love it. This is what we're passionate about. We're passionate about serving. I serve with my hands and you serve with that mic. And so together we're a great combo. I love it.
Well, I love and appreciate you, brother. Look forward to the day I see you in person down
Absolutely.
there in Dallas. I might move to Austin. Cat's out of the bag, but I hear
Too
there's a
far.
lot. I hear there's a lot of freedom down there in
A
in
lot of freedom.
Texas.
Oh yeah. Love it.
Well, for now, I'm signing off. And with that, I want you to have a great rest of your day and keep on healing, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.